Hey Rider fans, and welcome to the Bronx Hot Seat, our show that gives you an up-close and personal glimpse into some of Rider's teams and student athletes. I'm your host Karen Torsha, and I am here today with some members of the track and field teams who will be competing in their conference championships right here on campus this weekend. Joining me today on the Bronx Hot Seat are Maya Riley, Heather Giovanoli, and David Hightower, who was the only one whose name didn't challenge me just now. So welcome to the Bronx Hot Seat. This won't be painful, I promise. I'm just going to ask you some track and field specific questions. We'll have a little fun, and then I'm going to, ask you some more personal hot seat questions. All right, you guys ready? You up for the challenge? You can handle it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Rider track and field teams have enjoyed a lot of individual success this season so far, a lot of ECAC and IC4A qualifiers. And the men's team is going to be looking to defend their conference championship from last year, which they won over Manhattan by 100 points. And that's all starting this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, right here on Rider's campus. So, Maya, we're going to start with you, okay? So the women's team finished third at last year's outdoor championship and then fourth at this year's indoor championships. What are the expectations for the team as you're preparing for this weekend, and maybe what are some of the improvements or the changes that your coaches implemented from last year?
We're going to focus a lot on personal goals this year since our women's team is very small compared to other years. We're more or less going to focus on individual goals, possibly more ECAC qualifiers, more relays going, since a lot of people are injured. But one of the major things that the coaches have implemented was that that success is more like little small individual gains, and then gradually you'll just see like a great progress.
Great. So now you won the 100 at last year's conference championship. What do you think it's going to take for you to repeat as the conference champion in that event this weekend?
Probably running sub 12. There's a lot of good girls in conference. Manhattan has a great returning runner. St. Peter's has a lot of girl sprinters who will pose a challenge, so probably sub 12 this weekend and win it.
And now keeping kind of on that mindset of, as a sprinter, I know you do, the short distance events for us. And even though the distances aren't really that different, I mean, you go from the 100 to the 200, there's still different strategies with them. How do you prepare yourself mentally to go from one event to the next, and what do you think is the biggest difference between the two events?
For the 100, it's more just focusing on technique. The 200, no, just go out as fast as you possibly can and hold on, because I know there are a lot of fast girls in conferences. I know that the 200 is like not my specialty, so I literally just go out as fast as I can and pray to God no one can catch me.
Good, well we'll be looking for you to do that this weekend. All right, Heather, we're going to move on to you. You set new rider records in the 800, the 1500, and the mile just in the month of April alone. And then you were also part of the distance medley relay team that set a new record at the Penn Relays last weekend. What factors have contributed to you being able to set these new records, and what's it going to take for you to break your own records this weekend at the MAAC Championship?
I think the biggest key for me was that I've had consistent training this year. I didn't get injured and I haven't really been sick, and in the past that's kind of held me back, and so that really definitely helped with that. And then this weekend it's going to take good competition and for the races to actually go out for me to break the records again.
Good. And then as one of the captains along with Maya, I'm sure your coaches look to you to kind of inspire and motivate your teammates a little bit more. They may be in practice and they just don't feel like they can go on. So what are some of the things that you've used or done or said to your teammates to kind of inspire them, whether it's before a big race or anything, when they just felt like they wouldn't be able to continue?
Well, I think partly I like to lead by example, because if people see, okay, she can do it, then why can't I? I mean, we train together every day, we do the same stuff, and so if I can do it, they can do it too, and then kind of just, we know we put in the work, and so if we put in the work, then we're going to get the good results of the races.
Good. And then you're also on the cross-country team, obviously, so you're running 3 seasons a year. I mean, I know your teammates are as well, but you really have strict competition in the fall with cross-country and then indoor and outdoor running distance for track. What's the longest distance you've ever run, whether it was for practice or for a competition? And then what are some of the things that typically go through your head as you're running?
Well, actually, compared to some other people on my team, I'm not like the most long distance, but I'd say I think my longest run was 82 minutes, and that was over the summer. And some of the things that go through my head, I don't know, I think about anything, about things I have to do later, or, it helps when you're with the girls because we just talk about the most random stuff.
So in 82 minutes, how far do you run?
Probably a little over 10 miles, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, that's a little farther than me. All right, Dave, we're going to move on to you. So the men's team obviously won last year's conference title by 100 points over Manhattan, like I had mentioned earlier, and you guys are going to try and defend that championship this weekend. Who other than Manhattan is going to be your toughest competition? What does the team need to focus on to repeat as conference champions this weekend?
Our toughest competition is St. Peter's because they take away from a lot of our points because we have a lot of great sprinters, and St. Peter's is a lot of great sprinters. So when we get points on the track, they just take away some points if they take a second or third place. Because Manhattan has a lot of good throwers and jumpers. But to repeat a win, we're gonna have to just focus on our individual events, like focus on what we need to focus on, like each race, take one step at a time, not try to focus on the 4x4 when I'm running the 110, or someone needs to focus on each race at a time, just take it one step at a time.
Good. Now, speaking of the 110s, you did set a new MAAC record in the 110 hurdles on your way to becoming the conference champion last year. Now, you currently have the second best time in the conference to one of your own teammates, James Burrows. What are you going to need to do to win that event this year? And is coming in second okay if it is to one of your teammates?
Coming in second is never okay, but if I had to, I guess it would be to James because he's my best friend, he's my roommate. So if he won, I'd be happy for him. But I haven't lost the hurdles since I've been in college. I've won freshman, sophomore, and trying to win this year. And to win it, I'm just gonna have to focus and drive out and not hit that many hurdles because I tend to destroy every one.
Yeah, I've seen you run. Yeah. So, do you guys have some pretty strict competition during practice then too?
Oh yeah, we joke around, we play games, but like
a little trash talk.
Oh yeah, always trash talking. But as soon as we step in the line, it's all business. We'll be trash talking literally until we get into the blocks at max. He'll be like, Dave, you're gonna see my basketball time. You're gonna see my basketball time.
Okay.
I'm like, James, I'm just gonna whoop you. I'm just gonna beat you. Until we get into the blocks.
So we can expect more of that this weekend then from you too?
Of course.
Good.
Of course. It's just all fun.
So what does it mean to the team that the conference championship is hosted by Ryder, and what do you think are some of the advantages that you guys might have over some of the other MAAC schools? Because basically this is a home meet for us.
I think it means a lot to the team because other sports teams work a lot of the meets. So like other sports teams get to see like how much we like actually see what we do. Because a lot of the time they just see the cross country team just running around and they see us with bags of ice everywhere in various positions on our body, like throwers on their elbows, and distance runners is living in the ice bath for 20 minutes and stuff. But they get to see us run and like they see what we're doing, and like it's a whole new world out there. It's a different environment than any other sport because it's individual yet still team, and there's relays. It's crazy, and it probably is an advantage for us because we don't have that lag of driving places and sitting down and having to like sit for hours or minutes or even just like an hour or two. Just is a lot on your legs, even especially if you're a sprinter, because you have to get that pop and spring back in your step. Right.
Good. All right. Well, that does it for our track and field related questions. And now I'm going to put you guys on the hot seat. And you two look nervous. David looks cool in combat over there. He's all relaxed. He knows what he's doing. So Maya, we're going to start with you. Okay. So your first question again, hot seat. So first thing comes to your head. Okay. So I mentioned. Before, I know you do a couple different types of events, obviously sprinting mostly. What is one track or field event that you would never want to do and why?
Never?
Never. I know you've probably done a lot. You pretty much do what anybody ever asks you, but what's one you would never want to do and why not?
Steeplechase. One, because I would not want to splash into that water like that. I would not want it to mess up my hair, just no. And then people step on you, and those girls are, they're wild. They're more aggressive sometimes than sprinters when they're going out there in that steeplechase. And it's too long for me. Anything longer than 400 meters, I just want to hurt myself. So.
I do have to admit that one of my, other than the sprints, but I love to watch the steeplechase because I'm always hoping that someone's like going to fall in a fall or something. And then I know y'all put the goldfish in there. I feel bad for the goldfish and wanting to, kind of get them out and go put them in a bowl somewhere. But that's a good answer. I can imagine. I would not want to do the steeplechase either because then you're running in wet shoes. I mean, who wants that? Okay. If you were stranded on a desert island and could only bring 3 things with you, what would they be?
Wow.
You thought your final exams were hard, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking. I don't know why gum is coming to mind. I guess gum. I don't know why. I don't really chew that much.
Fresh breath.
I guess. Pillows to sleep and an iPod.
Okay, good to know. So you'll have your, we all say, you don't need clothes, you don't need food, you don't need friends. She just wants gum and a pillow and an iPod. She'll be doing a lot of sleeping on that island. Okay. All right, Heather. Distance runners are sometimes described as kind of a different breed sort of thing, and obviously I mean that in a good way, okay? What are some of the strangest rituals maybe some of your distance running teammates have that they have to do before a race that you've seen? Or you, if there's something that you have to do.
Well, I have a superstition, but it doesn't really have to do with necessarily distance running, but I put a heads-up penny in my spike for every race, and I keep it in there until I run bad, and then I take it out and I put a new one in.
You put a new one in?
Yeah.
What if it flips over to tails up while you're running? Because I'm sure it moves around.
It never has.
Never has?
No.
Okay, all right. I'm going to ask you that after this weekend.
Okay.
Okay, if you could have dinner with any 3 people in the world, living or dead, who would they be?
Oh, wow. Let's see. Kelly Ripa.
She's a good one.
Yeah, she's really funny. Ryan Reynolds, because he's good looking.
Because he's hot,
yeah. And who else? I'll say Kara Goucher. She's an Olympic distance runner.
Okay. Let's get a little bit of everything. You
Yeah.
got funny, you got hot, and then you got somebody who can kind of inspire you. Okay. All right, David, you ready?
Yeah.
If I told you you had to lose one of your 5 senses, you know, sight, sound, smell, taste, or touch, which one would it be and why?
It would probably be touch.
Why not? Why?
Because, you know, I can still see it, I can still hear, but touching, you know, it gets overrated sometimes. Like, just you know, just get sick of it.
Okay, well, and then you wouldn't feel like
You
those
won't feel
hurdles
pain.
when you
Yeah,
run
like,
through them.
I
you
got
would
scars
feel-
over my knees, I wouldn't feel them, and
Okay.
I wouldn't feel lactic acid pain or anything.
Oh.
I'd be a better runner.
Well, wow, you are really, you're
Yeah.
set. That's a very good
It's
answer.
golden.
Okay, all right, I
Golden.
see that. Now here's your last one. If there was a reality show based on your life, what would it be called?
Based
Not
on-
Pump and Run, because I know, like, you know, you like to. You already mentioned that you were going to do some push-ups before you jumped on the set
Well,
today.
I was gonna say really good looking, but that has nothing to do with this. But
That's just your everyday
That's
life.
just my everyday
Is that what
life,
you're trying
just
to say?
so I
That wouldn't be
couldn't
your
say
reality show.
it'd probably be called like The Boys because I just hang out with a bunch of my guy friends all the time. We call each other the boys, and we just do crazy random things all the time. And it's not always the best idea or the smartest things we do, but it's always fun and people would probably watch it. You know.
Now, Maya's over here shaking her head. That's what I want to know. Why are you shaking your head at him right now?
No, I mean, the boys?
He can't be more creative than that.
You can be.
I can't.
You can.
We've stumped him. I think we've stumped him. Maybe we'll bring you back on next year, and maybe we'll have the reality show for you at that time.
I probably might have. MTV called me twice
Yeah.
about it, and I declined because you know I'm in school and I'm trapped.
Yeah.
And Dudley would just say you have no time for that, so that's the whole thing that there.
I can see you've got so much on your plate right now. I don't know, how you can possibly be running this weekend, right? You just have so many things going
I have
on.
a lot to do, you know. I got dailies to go to later on to eat, and I gotta take at least 2 naps before I go to practice at 3:30.
This is slowly evolved into the David Hightower show, and it's gone away from the Bronx Hot Seat right now, so we're going to try and rein it back in, but that concludes your time on the Bronx Hot Seat, you guys, so I want to thank you for being here with us. And that is our show for this afternoon. I want to thank our members of the track and field team for joining us on the Bronx Hot Seat. If you want more information on rider athletics, the MAAC Championships that we're hosting this weekend, or just track and field in general, please go to our website at gobronx.com. I'm your host, Karen Torsha. Thanks for watching, and go Bronx!